All right, we we are back with our third segment of the morning.
Yes, and we are joined by Joseph Stamp Romero. Morning, Joe. You're no stranger to the expressive arts, to edutainment. I remember that clearly. You know, let's talk about the resurgence of Masters of the Floor. I remember being there the first year, and now we're here, what, 12 years later?
Yeah.
And
It's been a ride, Dwayne. I'm morning, Serena.
Hi.
I think that in terms of people thinking what is Master of the Floor in 2023, you know, Master of the Floor has innovated. And, you know, you can't do what you've done in 2009, 2007 in 2023, right?
Yeah.
And so the idea of it is to actually create a competition that represents where we are now. And so Master of the Floor has morphed into a dance team element. So it's called the Master of the Floor, the dance teams edition, right? And so the idea of it is to ensure that everybody who's involved can know that now they can collaborate, because initially it's a competitive platform. So
Yeah.
you know that there were guys against guys, and so the idea is me against you battle. But
Yeah.
now we've looked at how we can include people having to perform together. But here's the kick. So most of our teams, in fact all, are girls.
What?
Right? They're girls, right? They're girls. So we went across 5 schools, Belize High School, Ladeville Tech, St. Vernon, St. Catherine's Academy. And we've kind of looked at some of our schools, and we've kind of looked at who has a dance team. We found out that there's a lot of cheer teams, but not dance teams. So we workshopped all of these particular teams and tried to get them ready for competition. We continue to workshop because we're moving to Youth Week in November as the premiere of the actual competition. But we've also tried to create a morphed idea of where we want to go. So we placed Master of the Floor under the Walls Down project, which is our using art for peace concept in terms of having art empowerment in schools and in communities. Right? And so beyond that, all the groups will then become a part of a TV show that we're creating. So you don't just get to compete as dance team, you get to work together beyond the actual event and then work on a brand new show that we're creating. So there's a lot coming. We won't say what the show is because we want to protect the creative process of that show, but we have ensured that whenever we find talent, we want to continue collaborating with those talents.
yeah.
I just think it's so amazing that it's females.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's talk about the styles of dancing that we can expect, because as you mentioned, most high schools, they have cheer teams.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at females coming from these schools where dance teams, I guess, would be, what are the style of dancing that we can expect?
That's a good question, because typically we're known for hip hop, but we've allowed all of our teams to integrate styles that they would want. Of course, hip hop is a huge part of it because that's our foundation. However, we've also looked at how we can work the idea of cultural preservation into dance. Traditional culture. So we were asking that dance teams have a cultural element of different cultures found in Belize in their performances. So teams can have what we call a free expression performance, where they can put whatever they want into in terms of their styles, but also they must have a second round of a traditional element in their performance. So we're trying to ensure that we are doing our part in preserving cultures that we have in Belize.
Well, I know that Masters of the Floor, when it started, you also had talents from across the country. This one is almost Belize district centered.
Yeah.
But the plan is to go out to the other districts and get them involved, right?
I like where we're going with that, Dwayne, because yes, the idea is to have a national competition. Actually, what we talked about is trying to discuss the idea that, and I don't think it's an idea, but the progression of dance as a sport. We are really adamant about seeing dance become a sport in Belize, not just, oh, there's sports and then there's art and there's a separation.
Yeah.
So our dance team element is actually looking at how dance becomes a sport where these young ladies who have cheer teams like SCA, who've been doing it for a long time, can have a platform where they're not on the sidelines anymore, but they're in the spotlight.
You know,
Yeah.
that is interesting because I believe just about 2 or 3 years ago, the Olympic Games made break dancing a
Yep.
sport and and part of the competition, and so it ties into that.
Right,
It's,
Perfectly,
perfectly
yeah.
aligned. But I want to get into a little bit more about it. I know you said you don't want to reveal all from the creative process, but
Sure.
so they will go head to head, battling as teams, and then this will take place in November, and we're going to see that turn into a TV
show,
series.
yeah.
Right. So
The
actually,
whole process, that the process will be documented.
so not the process. So when they're finished competing as dance teams, the idea is to have rappers, singers, dramatists in Master of the Floor. So we've actually said, why just have one aspect and in terms of discipline? Why not consider what other kids are doing too? So we have made reservations for adding rappers and people, and songwriters and singers who want to be part of showcasing their talent. So Master of the Floor now is now asking, who else masters something that we haven't looked at? What other
Yeah.
platform, right? And then afterwards, we're hoping that we can have an actual TV show where you can see the different talents.
And the progression,
Right.
the development of their skills.
Right.
I like that. So I know you also spoke about there's some level of mentorship that takes place. You've brought them in and give them some level of training and all of that. So talk to us about that.
Sure.
Because you were right. You're right. The Masters of the Floor started as purely hip hop.
Yes.
And so it's about incorporating those other styles too,
Yeah.
and understanding the technique behind it. Because while some may feel that hip hop now have technique, hip hop have technique,
lot of
guys,
technique, has a lot of
a
technique.
lot of technique, and it's about conditioning the body and ensuring that you can do
Yeah.
all these things too, right?
Yeah. So we had a trainer from New York. Her name is Renee Chacha. Renee came in to do her first international workshop. Right, Renee is based in New York, but has a foundation in California. Renee is a graduate of Howard. So if anybody doesn't know who Howard, just think about Black Panther, the school that he came from,
yeah.
the same school that people like him, probably
Chadwick
Boseman
Boseman, yeah.
comes from, right? And so Renee came in and kind of gave the girls some contemporary training and gave them some tips about performances. Renee has done a lot of great commercials, working with like Pharrell. And
Okay,
so
wow.
she came in and we had an open workshop that was free. Right, I think for me, I think accessibility is always something I really want to always factor into these competitions. Doesn't make them affordable doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
But I still offer free access. Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit because Masters of the Floor came from your love of dancing as well. You
Yeah.
were a dancer yourself. Let's take a moment to reminisce on how Masters of the Floor was your passion project for you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So I think that's a really good question. I think when you look at what, and Dwayne mentioned this earlier, what are some of the benefits of hip hop? Because it does have technique, it does have discipline. It does teach you a sense of tenacity and how you go for your goals. And so for me, I would say I was fathered by dance, if that makes any sense. Because all of the things I could not learn from my father at home, I learned on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So my mentors were like people like William Neal and Urson Picard and persons like Mark Jenkins. These guys that some person might have forgotten, but were part of the foundation of dance in Belize, who were actually showing us that you could be a disciplined individual through an artistic discipline. And so I think that for me, Master of the Floor is something that's dear to me.
Yeah.
I keep pushing art just because of that,
You know,
because the benefits are grand.
You know, I want to say, Joseph, that you are masters of the floor. You're the master of the floor. So in that light, we're going to give you an opportunity
Yeah.
to have us be your apprentice. And please,
Rock
I
the
beg
school,
you,
Dwayne, rock the school, Dwayne.
guys, I want to say something, right? Dwayne constantly puffs his chest about being a dancer. He was a dancer back in the day.
Yeah, he
Listen,
was.
I was one of the best.
He
was.
has a lot of pressure on his shoulder right now. Fortunately, I can claim I have no rhythm. So if I look bad, I just look bad. But we're going to have Joseph teach us some very small, easy
Yeah,
moves.
easy.
I don't know. I haven't done this in a what?
Okay, so
2010.
all right, so most times people like to think about the steps first, right? But we'll think about,
About
the
the
rhythm.
character.
All right, good.
Yeah,
the
that's
rhythm.
where we-
All right,
I
so here we
don't
go.
know, but I already
All right,
did.
So let's start something simple. Ready? Very simple. Let's go. Come on. Very simple. Come on, Serena. Very simple. Right? Can you hear the beat? All right.
All right,
Good.
all
Come on,
right.
Dwayne. Come on, Dwayne. All right. Come on, Dwayne. Rocking it. Right? Good. All right. So out of feet.
Wait, I'm
All
wearing
right.
heels,
So we're gonna
man.
go. All right. Okay.
All right, I'll try. Okay,
stop.
let's do it
Okay,
slow.
we're gonna move the feet, Dwayne. We're gonna move
All
the
right,
feet.
got it.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go back again. Right? Here we go. Hold on it, hold it. Come on. Rock on it. Rock on it. Okay, good, Sabrina. We're gonna change levels. Going down. Going down, going down.
Okay.
Come on, Sabrina. Going down, going down, going down. Alright? Alright. I wanna add the feet, you know, but I don't wanna hurt Sabrina
No,
today,
man,
alright?
I'm wearing heels. I'm wearing
Here we go.
stilettos.
Alright, so good. First thing, let's start at the top, here, top. Good. Now the idea is to actually not to try and chase the beat, but to just enjoy it. Good. Go down. Now go down. Good. Go down. Okay. Good. Let's try shoulders alone.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh,
Good.
I'm a shoulder
Ready?
girl,
Good.
yeah.
Shoulders. All right. Good. All right. Some people like to do a lot, right, just to kind of impress, but you just want to enjoy what you're doing, right? Good. So we're now going to step up a little bit now at hands, right?
okay.
Good. We're going to have you learn a simple wave. All right?
I
Sabrina,
can't do no
simple
wave.
Sabrina. A simple wave. One hand.
One
Right,
hand.
Sabrina, one hand. So what it is that it starts at the wrist and comes all the way through. All right, and use shoulders. All right, here we go.
Wait.
Here we go. All right, come through.
Get it, Sabrina.
I feel like I had a little like one little tied. This one a little tied.
Yeah,
Wave
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
This one a little tied. Remember, guys, we don't have waves that Belize. This is a little kikaka wave.
Here we have. That looks like, come on. Let's go, Sabrina. Let's go, Joe.
No, but
Give me
this
that
is
eight
great.
cup. Come
All
on.
right, all
Good.
right.
Okay, good. All right, so I'll have to, Dwayne and Nietzsche just work on the hands that we don't have any accidents today, right?
Aye,
Good.
aye, aye.
Here we go. All right, so let's go try something. Ready? Okay, good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? Here we go. Step. Turn. All right? Here we go.
All right.
1. Turn. All right? Here we go again. So,
I will you got wrong, Joe.
all right? So out. Good. Let's go.
Out or
All right,
in?
Let's go out. Let's go out.
This is the Macarena.
We're gonna go. Come down. Ready? Gonna come down. Here we go. So, up, shift. Ready?
All right.
Okay.
Levels. All right. Level. Again. 5, 6, 7. Step.
Oh, I thought we were
Level.
doing the first
Ready?
one.
No. Ready? Here we go.
All right.
Good. All right, here we go. Again. Now, what happens is that every time you see the movement changes, you want to pay attention, right? The idea is not to be repetitive, but the idea is to actually stay in the moment.
Okay.
Right? In the moment. Good. I want to take you from the shoulders again with the bopping, right? So here, right? Here. Good. Here. Now, pay attention. Stay in the moment. Watch your hands now. I'm going to go out, all right, and come down. So we're going to go bop, this, down. Ready?
Ooh,
Here we go.
okay.
Here we go. Bop. Hands. Ha. Down. Good. Now let's try shifting the shoulders now. This
Okay.
way. Shifting. Ready? Here we go. And shift. Back. Again.
Wait.
And shift. Back. Good. We're gonna go bop. Ha.
The pain in my legs.
Down. And shift. Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
5, 6, 7. Step. Ha. Come on. 2.
or one?
Ha. Hit.
All right.
Hit. Fall. Up. Shift. Again. 5, 6, 7. Step. Bop. And shift. Good.
Joseph, please, my feet are hurting.
So a while ago, right? A lot of people like to do this, right? They want to catch the pattern of the dance, right?
Uh-huh.
But I'm learning that, and still learning that it's not about pattern. It's about the moment, all right? So most choreographers, and I remember working with this guy, right? This kid, and he's Malachi Durant. Malachi toured with Will Smith.
Okay.
And Malachi was one of my first students in the States who taught me something really important. He says that oftentimes we are looking at the choreography and the pattern of the dance. But it's not just that, it's actually in the moment. In the moment. So Malachi spent a lot of times, we spent a lot of time in the studio working on what would he show for his audition. So Will and his team picked the dancers for his tour. And so Malachi said to me, when he goes to this particular audition, what he's going to do is he's going to show them that it's not the sound they give him, but what he does with the song, right? So I moved from teaching pattern to telling students, stay in the moment. That makes for good innovation and for good creativity.
Yeah.
Because I know that, sometimes there are people who dance to the words and use that to interpret their movements, and then you have others where they stay in the pocket and stay in the music. You understand what I mean? And the beats and what it's telling their body to do.
And then you become a robot. You become a robot for that.
Yeah. Well, Joseph, this was my morning workout. I finally can say I did some workout this week.
Dance.
I could dance, guys. It might not be great, but I know I could do something. But we want to say thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to use this opportunity to just remind the public again that Masters of the Floor is back, and it's back with a twist, but it's going to be even better than ever. So you can remind us what we can expect. And I mean, if you want to tease a little bit more just for us here on Open Your Eyes, and you still don't have to give out everything away, but tell us why we should be excited.
So definitely when you think about Master of the Floor as a competition, as an event itself, it's where you're going to see the best dancers actually emerge in the country, in the city. And you're also going to see talent from all young people. Right? A while ago, you guys talked about how I dropped in the Macarena in it, right? I did that intentionally because the idea of it is to have students realize that they can grasp culture within their own creativity, right? And so that's what we're doing. We're trying to do that. So we have looked at how we can best showcase who we are as a people while embracing the national culture, right? And I think it's important, who we are in dance. And so when you come to our events, you're going to see dancers that you can see are green at the moment, but the process of them getting there. We have dancers like Sydney Tucker, who is now a judge in the world of dance, right? One of the biggest events in the U.S. And he's one of our junior competitors in Master of the Floor. So you come to Masters, you see growth, and you see some of our young people as they merge into being some of the best talents you're going to find out there.
I think one of the things, and just in part of the wrap-up, you spoke earlier about it's about engaging our youth, the young people, young boys, and that there's something else to do outside of getting caught up. And so I want to at least implore to them, like parents, you have your young boys at home that are interested in the creative arts, in the expressive arts, in dance, like have them come out, have them try something different, and Masters of the Floor provides that.
Yeah, and stop being so afraid of arts. The arts is not going to ruin your career, your future. You can have, you can do two things. You can do a major in school, you can have a subject major and an artistic major. So it's possible. I think sometimes people are saying, don't do that because you can't have a career in that. Look, I've lived my life being educated, getting educated, plus being plugged into the arts.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fear. It's actually, it's a marriage with your career.
Yeah.
So thank you, Joe, for being here with us. Masters of the Floor, guys, it's coming back 2023. You don't want to miss out. Just stay tuned. There's a lot that is in store. Of course, it will end up in November for Youth Week with a big show. And so you need to look forward to that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more from Open Your Eyes.